The spaceship Seraphim traversed the inky blackness of space, a routine mission. Captain Eva Stone glanced at the chronometer. 3 weeks since their last resupply. 3 weeks of monotonous asteroid charting. Suddenly, a shrill beep pierced the silence, a distress signal, emanating from an uncharted planet. "Captain, I'm getting a reading on an unidentified signal," announced Lieutenant Zia Khan, her brow furrowed. Eva leaned forward, her gaze fixed on the blinking console. "What kind of signal?" "Distress, but peculiar. It's like nothing I've encountered before." "Peculiar how?" "The frequency, the modulation, it's alien," Zia replied, her voice hushed with a hint of fear. The planet loomed, a ghastly silhouette against the star-dusted backdrop. It was shrouded in a perpetual twilight, its surface a canvas of jagged shadows. An unnatural silence hung in the air, punctuated only by the soft hum of the Seraphim's engines. "Prepare for planetary descent," Eva commanded, her voice betraying a tremor of unease. As they breached the planet's atmosphere, a wave of static washed over their comms. The distress signal intensified, its rhythm growing more erratic. On the surface, a structure emerged from the gloom. Immense, angular, definitely not natural. "What is that?" whispered Navigator Ben Lee, his knuckles white as he gripped his console. "Whatever it is," Eva muttered, "it's calling for help." The airlock hissed as they stepped onto the planet's surface. The gravity was heavier here, oppressive. The silence was absolute, broken only by the crunch of their boots on the alien soil. They made their way towards the monolithic structure. "Fan out," Eva ordered, her hand hovering over her sidearm, "and keep your comms open." The structure was a labyrinth of corridors, each one eerily similar to the last. The walls were smooth, cold, metallic. No signs of life, no indication of who built this place or why. "Captain," Zia's voice crackled through the comms, "I'm picking up something on my scanner. A faint energy signature. Ahead." Section 4. A Glimmer in the Void. They reached a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in the shadows above. In the center, suspended by unseen forces, floated a solitary figure. Humanoid in form, but grotesquely elongated, its limbs contorted at unnatural angles. Its face, frozen in a silent scream, was a mask of unimaginable terror. What is that?" Ben stammered, his voice tight with horror. As they approached cautiously, the figure began to rotate slowly, its empty eyes seeming to follow their every move. And then a sound, a low, guttural moan that seemed to slither up their spines, sending chills down to their very core. "This is wrong," Eva whispered, her hand tightening around her sidearm. "Something isn't right here." "Captain!" Zia's voice trembled. "The energy signature. It's getting stronger." Section 5. The distress signal's true nature. As if on cue, the distress signal that had led them here flared, washing the chamber in a blinding white light. The figure above them convulsed, its silent scream becoming a deafening shriek that echoed through the chamber. Then the shadows moved. Dark, amorphous shapes detached themselves from the darkness, their forms shifting and swirling like smoke given life. They moved with an uncanny speed, their silence more terrifying than any roar. "Get back to the ship!" Eva yelled, firing her sidearm blindly into the encroaching darkness. But it was too late. Ben, closest to the creatures, let out a strangled cry as he was enveloped by the shadows. His scream was cut short, replaced by an eerie silence that was more unsettling than the moan before. Section 6. Beyond Human Comprehension. Panic surged through Eva and Zia. They turned and ran, their footsteps echoing in the vast chamber. The air grew thick, heavy. The shadows were everywhere, closing in. Thea was their only hope. They burst onto the landing platform, the creatures in hot pursuit. But as they reached their ship, a horrifying realization dawned upon them. Thea was gone. In its place, a pulsating darkness, a gaping maw in the fabric of reality. The creatures had somehow called it, or perhaps become it. Eva and Zia stood there, bathed in the cold light of the alien stars, defenseless, alone. And then the silence was broken, not by a scream, but by a low, insidious hum that seemed to resonate deep within their very being. It was a siren song of the void, a beckoning into the abyss. It was the sound of the universe, cold and indifferent, reminding them of their utter insignificance. And as the darkness finally consumed them, Eva understood. The distress signal hadn't been a cry for help. It had been a lure,